Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. During this video I'll be showing you another example of how I usually trade in hopes that you guys will get more proficient and more comfortable with how this strategy works. I'll be explaining everything there is to explain for this setup and how I process trades. So the strategy I'm going to be talking about is the retracement strategy on the 1 hour chart. If you haven't seen the video that I've made about it that explains the strategy, please have a look at the video on the top right corner, as you're going to need to understand what's going on and the kind of fundamentals of the strategy in order to get what I'm going to be discussing in this particular video. Okay, so hopefully for those who have stayed, have seen the video, let's have a look at the setup that we got for this trade. So we are on the Euro New Zealand, and we can see that price was moving in a downtrend. You can see the price dropping significantly over a good amount of days. Eventually price retraced, went back down, and this is actually another example that I've made on the previous video of examples of trades. So this was a previous trade that I've placed around this region right here and was short, and we got that trade pretty comfortably. But after that, you can see that price moved very aggressively on the upside due to some news coming out, and I was expecting price to be coming back down eventually. So after a few days and good upward momentum, that happened. So after reaching this area right here, it struggled to push through and went downwards and transformed into a downtrend. So I'm looking into downward momentum, and I want to ensure that I'm not going to be getting kind of reversed into an uptrend instead. So I avoided trading these hours right here, so these few candles, and I was expecting to get some extra confirmation. So after seeing this drop right here, okay, I thought, okay, we are in a downtrend, so that is great. So the next time price retrace, I'm going to be placing an entry. So in this case, so the previous time it came close to retracing, I didn't actually place my trade out as I was expecting price to move a bit further upwards, but instead push downwards. But in this case, right here on the where price is right now, price retraced onto the moving average and actually hit the trend line that we have that were formed from the spike of price right here on the high of this kind of upward momentum and from the previous highs from the retracements. So I was confident enough that after hitting this trend line, we're going to be most likely going downwards. One thing that I was cautious about was this support and resistance that we had. So the orange line that you see here, if you were to go on the daily, you can see that there were this zone that was respected a couple times. So in this region right here, and as again in this region, and if we were to move a bit further, you can see again in this the region. So this was a pretty respected zone. So that was something that I'm going to be looking out for when price is getting closer to that area. Um, and the region below is not as close to, but I'm hoping that the trend will eventually reach this area right here. If it actually manages to break through this first zone, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be going down on this area right here. So that is going to be a nice setup later on. So this is the basic setup. Let's go down to the hourly and see if all of our confluences are met. The first confluence is the moving averages that need to be aligned, and this is the case. So you can see the long term 200 moving average is above the 50, which is short term, meaning that we are looking for sell options, sell positions, and we have the RSI being overbought, which is nice. Another confluence to our strategy. So we have the retracement of the moving average, the 200 moving average, and we have a confirmation. And in most cases, I will be trading on the close of this bear candle. Instead, I was lucky enough to um, kind of suspect how this trade is going to be going. So I placed my entry after the close of this candle instead. So after hitting the trend line and seeing the momentum on the lower time frames, so the 5 minute, I was thinking that this is going to be a nice setup. So after the close of this particular candle right here, so this engulfing candle on the bear side, I thought I'm going to be placing my trade right here, and that is what I did. And eventually price moved aggressively, as you can see this gigantic candle moving downwards, and my current take profit is around um, this area, I believe, right here, but I might going to be closing it closer to this area instead. It depends on how I feel the momentum is going to be shifting. So you can see that currently we are in profit, and I'm going to actually show you the actual setup that I have on my MetaTrader account. So you can see this is where I placed my entry, and you can see the setup on this broker is slightly different than what you're seeing on the Tradingview. So you can see that um, the moving average is slightly beneath where my entry was. Instead, you can see that on the Tradingview, the close of the candle was exactly onto the average. Instead, the close on the MetaTrader was slightly different, but that didn't bother me, and I placed my entry. Okay, so that is the entry that I've got, and hopefully it will play out nicely. You can see the actual take profit is around the region that I've mentioned right here. The stop loss is above these wicks right here, so you can see there. This is a pretty respected area. So we were to mark that as well. You can see this area was nicely respected, so I've placed my stop loss slightly above that, and that will give me a nice around the 2.3 risk reward ratio, which is nice. Okay, so up to at this point we are in some nice profit, and I'm hoping that this momentum will carry on. So I'll be showing you the result once this trade is over. Hopefully going to be hitting our take profit, but I'm going to be soon moving my stop loss. So I usually like to trail my stop losses, so I'm ensuring that I'm going to get some nice profits. So I'll be moving my stop loss hopefully after seeing some small retracement on the minute charts and seeing the price moving downwards again. I'm going to be moving it around where my entry was in some slight profit to ensure that this is 100% risk-free trade. Just to show you the result of this trade, once the price dropped right here and saw these bear candles, so around this area, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be trailing my stop loss because I wanted to go to bed and I was going to be off my charts and didn't want to go through the Asian session without this high of a stop loss. I was thinking that I'm already in profit, so I've moved my stop loss to be around this area, so basically in slight profit, and that eventually got hit after this consolidation period of, you can see that price was moving very sideways, and that is not a great indication, so I didn't mind having a slight profit. So I think it was like $10. You can see the trade right here, how close it was from my entry. So at least it was a profitable trade without any losses, and I can go towards the weekend as it's Friday night without any trade open, which I don't mind that at all. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Any of you did, make sure to like and subscribe onto the channel. Thank you for watching again. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.